Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara. Hare Krishna. My name is Latika and I'm back again reading Bhagavad-gita as it is. I have this channel, Bhagavad-gita, here it is, because I'm very happy to try and put Bhagavad-gita on YouTube to make it available. And I'm reading the best Bhagavad-gita there is, Bhagavad-gita as it is, by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, where we get the translation and the purports, where we can, we can understand what Krishna is trying to tell us, because we have somebody who has that understanding to guide us. We are reading the second chapter, which is the basis of Bhagavad-gita, mostly the signs of the soul, the nature of the spirit soul. And we have come to text, we have two verses together here, 42, 43. I will read them in Sanskrit. Yamimang pushpitang vachang pravadantya vipaschitaha vedavadarata partha nanyadastiti vadinaha kamatmana svarga para janma karma phala pradam kriya vishesha bahulang bhogaishvarya gating prati. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planet, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. Purport. People in general are not very intelligent, and due to their ignorance they are most attached to the fruitive activities recommended in the Karma-kanda portion of the Vedas. They do not want anything more than sense gratificatory proposals for enjoying life in heaven, where wine and women are available and material opulence is very common. In the Vedas, many sacrifices are recommended for elevation to the heavenly planets, especially the Jyotishtoma sacrifices. In fact, it is stated that anyone desiring elevation to heavenly planets must perform these sacrifices, and men with a poor fund of knowledge think that this is the whole purpose of Vedic wisdom. It is very difficult for such inexperienced persons to be situated in the determined action of Krishna consciousness. As fools are attached to the flowers of poisonous trees without knowing the result of such attraction, unenlightened men are similarly attracted by such heavenly opulence and the sense enjoyment thereof. Yes. So the Vedas are huge. It's a vast body of knowledge, and it's partitioned into different categories. So the Karma-kanda is the part that deals with fruitive activities. And fruitive activity is a very descriptive term, which means you do an activity not for the activity itself, but you are desirous of the fruit. And when you want to get the fruit, you want to enjoy it for yourself. And I think it is not only followers of Vedic rituals and sacrifices who have this mentality, because this mentality is very pervasive in our society. We go to work mostly because we get paid to do it. Hopefully we are able to utilize our natural inclinations and interests and talents in that work. Hopefully we're able to bring a useful contribution to society and our fellow human beings and the world. Hopefully it makes us somewhat happy. But if we don't get paid, we're not going to go there. And the Vedic scriptures, they're like, they are a gift from Krishna. We are in this material world, and without knowledge, we are pretty much blind. We are unable to see where did we come from before this birth. We are unable to see when we leave the body, where are we going next. We cannot. We have the example of Lord Brahma, who is the first living entity in this universe. He took birth alone in the universe. seated on a lotus flower that grew out of Lord Vishnu's navel. Lord Vishnu is laying down in the universe. It's all dark, it's all empty, but Brahma is born there. And we can't see anything, he can't find anything. And he says, I am here, this lotus flower is here, let me try and follow the stalk down to the origin, to find out where he comes from. But he's unable to do that. And somehow or another, it's a long story, we will get to the Srimad Bhagavatam maybe eventually, otherwise the Srimad Bhagavatam is available in your nearest Krishna temple. He realizes he's unable to find the source of this flower by his own endeavor. So somehow or another, he's sincere in the heart, Krishna gives him the knowledge. And from that knowledge, he's able to create everything in the universe. And the Vedas is coming from Krishna like that. That knowledge that we need when we are here blinded in the material world, where we are unable to see further than our eyes. We cannot see further than the next wall. We can think a little bit further with our mind, but we cannot really think outside of our own experience so much. So Krishna has given us the Vedic knowledge. And the Vedic knowledge is divided in different sections, and they have slightly different purposes. We speak about the karma kanda section, the flowery language of the Vedas, the very attractive, alluring prospect of sense gratification that we often are attracted to, but through the Vedas it's a little more refined, a little more responsible, a little more permanent. Well, not permanent enough. We can go to the heavenly planets, we can live there for a very long time, enjoying the fruits of our activities, of our karma phala. And when it's finished, we take birth as human beings again. And then maybe we're a little wiser, then we think we want knowledge. We don't just want to, eat the cake, and when the cake is finished, we have a bellyache, we fall asleep, next morning we're hungry again, doesn't matter how much we ate the day before. It's perpetual, it doesn't end. And then we want knowledge, then we have the jnana kanda portion, where we study, we try to understand what is spirit, what is matter. We become maybe a little bit proud, we become maybe a little bit elevated from the material existence. And then we have the next section, deals with meditation, realizing the super soul in the heart. And ultimately, the only thing that's actually permanent is our relationship to Krishna, that realization. When we get to the bhakti process, which Bhagavad-gita very strongly recommends. But it's very easy to get lost in all these other very attractive, very intelligent, very cultured parts of the Vedas. And if we don't have the right guidance, it's difficult to find it. And if we don't have ourselves the right motivation, then we will be attracted to something else. Like if you have a child and your child gets hold of something very valuable. I don't know nowadays what's very valuable. Your phone is very valuable, or maybe your wallet, something like that. And then you can show the child something shiny, and they will be more attracted to that. Maybe you have paper money, a bill, and the child gets hold of that, and then show them some coins. They look much more attractive. So like that, the Vedas, those shiny parts that deal with sense gratification, they can be very attractive, and they can be a little bit bewildering, and they can also create a false sense of security, because after all it is the Vedas. Yes, but the Vedas are divided so that there is something for everyone, not actually in order to divide us and confuse us, but more in order to get us inside the influence of the Vedic knowledge. And then we can maybe get elevated lifetime by lifetime by being not just grabbing some sense gratification, but by actually deserving it through doing the proper sacrifices through the Vedas. In this Kali Yuga, such a gradual process is very risky, because if we go off to the heavenly planet and enjoy there for a few hundred years, on the Earth planet, a few thousand years have passed, and we come back, and it will be even a worse situation. More materialism, more degraded, less opportunity for spiritual realization. So Krishna wants to very strongly point out, we are eternal spirit soul, we are eternal servants of Krishna, and Bhakti Yoga is that process that gives us a permanent result. And this is one of the verses that points that out. In the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, it is said, Apama somam amrita abhuma and akshayang havai chaturmasya vyajina sukritam bhavati. In other words, those who perform the 4-month penances become eligible to drink the somarasa beverage to become immortal and happy forever. Even on this earth, some are very eager to have somarasa to become strong and fit to enjoy sense gratification. Such persons have no faith in liberation from material bondage, and they are very much attached to the pompous ceremonies of Vedic sacrifices. They are generally sensual, and they do not want anything other than the heavenly pleasures of life. It is understood that there are gardens called Nandana Kanana, in which there is good opportunity for association with angelic, beautiful women and having a profuse supply of somarasa wine. Such bodily happiness is certainly essential. Therefore, there are those who are purely attached to such material, temporary happiness as lords of the material world. So, it seems that we achieve something doing such a yagya. We achieve a level of enjoyment that is incomparably, or it's actually not incomparably higher. We can certainly compare it. It has a higher level and we have a lower level. But the difference is very big. The heavenly planets' quality of enjoyment, it's not just words, it's not just, heavenly gardens and beautiful damsels. It's just a totally different level. You don't get mosquitoes and snails eating your plants and headaches when you drink too much, or stomach ache when you eat too much. Your senses will be satisfied on a totally other level, but not satisfied enough, because you will die. In heavenly planets you will also die. In the heavenly planets you will have mental anxieties because of your pride will not be satisfied because somebody will be more elevated than you are, so on. So we want to understand that. There is different ways of understanding a thing. You can go through it all and you can suffer all the problems and you can find the frustration. We sometimes have, a little taste of that if we have a very beautiful holiday. The weather is perfect, the food is perfect, the water is perfect, and there's nothing to do there. And it gets a little boring, actually, and it gets a little frustrating. We're supposed to be happy, and then somehow we're not happy because it's not fulfilling us on a deeper level. So in the heavenly planets, it gets like that eventually. But we don't want to waste so many thousands of lifetimes. We want to study the Bhagavad-gita and we want to take it to the next level immediately. And Krishna is not opposed to that at all. He has given us all these levels of the Vedic life so that we won't just be lost in some random activities with some random karmic reaction where we don't know where we're going in the next life. It's better to become situated in the regulations of the Vedas, because then we can be happy and we can be connected. But that connection is only meant for us to elevate ourselves further, and therefore, especially in this age of Kali, we have a short lifetime. We're not very qualified actually for proper Vedic rituals and sacrifices as such. So we can, at this point right now, we can with our intelligence, or we can borrow Krishna's intelligence, we can read the Bhagavad-gita and we can hear about these different levels and hear how Krishna says, no, all of them are temporary. Dukkalayam ashashvatam. Everything in this material world, there is some suffering and then it ends. And to actually realize the nature of the soul and to actually be engaged in the activities of the soul in relationship to Krishna, whom we have an eternal, real relationship to. we can, it's a little bit of a shortcut. We don't have to go through all this school of hard knocks, doing something, realizing it's not the best thing, doing the next thing. We can do that too. We're eternal. We can spend our time as we like. But we can take advantage of the knowledge of the Bhagavad-gita, and Krishna is describing things all around for our best, to give us the best ability to come to the best conclusion. And that's our Krishna, and that's our Bhagavad-gita. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang